There is a leather bracelet laying on my workbench right now, and I want you to look at it close. 3 strands of golden leather, braided over and under, tight and even as a horsehair hat band. Now run your eyes down to either end. It is one solid piece. The ends were never cut apart. No glue, no hidden stitch, no seam tucked underneath. Folks picked these up at the Western wear store for $25, turned them over about 4 times, and set them down more confused than when they started. That's why the old saddlemen called it the mystery braid, and half the leather workers I know still suspect there's a trick photograph involved somewhere. But that braid is honest. Every crossing's real. The ends stay attached the whole time, and you can make one tonight from a $2 scrap of leather at your own kitchen table. Stay with me all the way to the end, because the whole thing turns on one strange move that feels like you're wrecking your work, and the reason that move works ain't magic. It is one specific thing happening at the bottom of that braid, the perfect mirror twin of what your fingers just did at the top, and nobody ever explains it. I'm going to. I'm Travis Kolbe, but everybody's called me Tiny since the 7th grade, and I've been growing into the joke ever since. I'm 3rd generation Caldwell County, Texas. My grandpa ran the meat market in our town and smoked briskets out back the old German way, and my daddy fixed saddles and tack for every ranch around here, working off a stitching pony I still use to this day. I grew up between the smoker and the leather bench, and today we're at the bench. I was maybe 10 years old the first time Daddy handed me one of these. He cut a scrap off a saddle skirt at his bench, made 2 long cuts down the middle of it, braided the whole thing up while I watched, and dropped it in my hand. Then he said, "Figure out how I did it." I carried that thing around for 2 weeks. I unbraided it and got stuck. I braided it back and got a knot, and that knot is exactly where everybody quits. You make your first 3 crossings, everything up top looks beautiful, and then you look down and the bottom of your leather has twisted itself into a bird's nest that looks ruined. Most folks see that mess and decide the whole thing must be a factory trick. Hold on to that bird's nest, because before we're done, I'll show you it was never a mess at all. It is the entire secret, hiding in plain sight. And the best part of this whole project is the bill. 1 scrap of leather, a knife you already own, a ruler, and about 20 minutes at the kitchen table. Call it $2 against $25 at the store. Now, today's about leather, but the same low and slow law runs my pit, and I wrote every bit of that down in a book called the Texas BBQ Bible. That's 101 pit-tested secrets from 3 generations of Caldwell County meat market smoking, written out plain for the backyard cook, so you never ruin another brisket as long as you live. It don't care what you cook on either. Offset, kettle, or pellet, the fire's the fire, and the book walks all 3. It covers reading your smoke, running your fire, the whole brisket from picking it out to slicing it, ribs and pork shoulder the Central Texas way, and rescuing a cook that's going sideways on you. It's $17, marked down from $47, and the way I figure it, one saved $80 brisket pays for the book 4 times over the first weekend you own it. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time, there is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. All right, back to the bench. Let's talk leather first, because the right piece makes this easy and the wrong piece makes it miserable. You want vegetable tanned leather, the plain, natural colored kind, what the tanneries call veg tan. Ask for 5 to 6 ounce. That's 5 to 6 ounce, which is just leather talk for the thickness, right around 1/8 of an inch, about like a saddle string. Any leathercraft store or the scrap bin online will have it for pocket change. Cut yourself a strip 8 inches long and 3/4 of an inch wide. 8 inches long, 3/4 of an inch wide. That fits most grown men's wrists with room for the closure, and you can go 9 inches for a big wrist like mine. For tools, you need a sharp knife, a steel ruler, and a cutting board from the kitchen. And one word from Daddy's bench before any blade moves: strop that knife sharp, because a dull knife is the one that slips, and always cut away from yourself. A sharp knife and slow hands never hurt anybody at his bench in 40 years, and we'll keep that record going. Now the cuts, and this is where the whole mystery gets built. Lay your strip flat on the cutting board. Measure 3/4 of an inch in from each end and make a little pencil tick. Those 2 ticks mark your solid ends, and they never get cut. Everything between the ticks gets divided into 3 equal strands. On a 3/4 inch strip, that means 2 cuts, each one 1/4 inch apart. 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 3 even strands. Set your steel ruler on the first line and hold it down firm. Draw your knife along the ruler in 2 or 3 light passes rather than one heavy one. Let the blade do the working, not your shoulder. Then cut the second line the same way. When you're done, you're holding one solid piece of leather with 3 strands swinging loose in the middle, still joined at both ends. Wipe it over with a damp sponge, both sides, until it darkens a shade. Damp veg tan bends like a good friendship, and dry veg tan cracks like a bad one. Time to braid. Hang the top end over your left hand, or clamp it soft in a vise if you've got one, and let the bottom hang free. We braid in sets of 3 crossings, and only 3. Take the left strand and cross it over the middle strand. Now take the right strand and cross it over the new middle strand. Now the left over the middle one more time. That's the whole set. Left over middle, right over middle, left over middle. 3 crossings, then stop. Do not keep going, no matter how good it looks up top. And now look down at the bottom of your piece, at that twisted bird's nest below your beautiful braid. Every beginner's stomach drops right about here. Mine surely did at Daddy's bench. Keep a picture of that nest in your mind, exactly how it sits right now, because that picture is the payoff I promised you at the top, and we are getting close to it. The clearing pass is the move that separates the folks who make these from the folks who give up. Look at your 3 strands just below the braiding you've done. Between the right strand and the middle strand, there's an open gap. Take the entire bottom end of the bracelet, solid end, tangle, and all. Pass that whole bottom end through that gap, going from the back side towards you. Pull it all the way through, gentle and steady. Now smooth everything down toward the bottom with your thumbs, and I'll be dogged if that bird's nest didn't just melt away like butter on a hot brisket. The braid up top stays put, tight as ever, and the leather below hangs straight and clean, ready for the next set. That's the whole rhythm of the mystery braid. 3 crossings, 1 pass through. 3 crossings, 1 pass through. On an 8-inch bracelet, you'll do that twice, and maybe once more if the braid's still loose. When the braiding runs out of slack and the whole middle is woven firm, you're done braiding. Work your fingers up and down the braid to even the strands out, the same patient way you'd nudge coals in a firebox. Low and slow, friends, low and slow. Finishing is where a kitchen table project starts looking store-bought. Dampen the braid again with a sponge, lay it flat on the board, and roll a drinking glass over it like a rolling pin, up and down a few times until the braid settles flat and even. For the edges, wet your fingertip and rub each cut edge briskly with a scrap of canvas or an old denim rag until it darkens and shines. The old saddle shops call that burnishing, and it's nothing but friction, water, and patience. For the closure, you've got two honest roads. The easy road is a leather lace. Punch or cut a small hole in each solid end, run a thin leather lace through both, and tie it off on your wrist. The dressed up road is a snap from the hardware store, 1/2 set in each end with a cheap setting tool. Jolene wears the lace kind. The boys each busted one wrestling and came back for snaps, and all three came off the same bench. Now let me pay off what I promised you because you've earned it. Why does that clearing pass work? Why does passing the bottom through the strands erase the tangle instead of making it worse? Daddy explained it to me with the account book from Grandpa's meat market, and I've never heard it said better. The leather keeps honest books. When both ends of a strip are attached, that strip cannot gain twist or lose twist overall. The books have to balance. So every crossing your fingers put into the top of the braid gets written down at the bottom as its exact opposite, the mirror twin of your braid, upside down and backwards. That bird's nest was never a mistake. It was the bill for the braiding you did, itemized and waiting. And the clearing pass is how you pay it. When you pass the whole bottom end through that gap, you are running the end along the exact path it would have traveled if it had been loose and free to unwind. One pass through settles 3 crossings worth of twist every time on the nose. That's why the store bracelet looks impossible. You're looking at the braid, but the secret was never in the braid. The secret is in a debt that got paid at the bottom and then vanished without a trace. Same rule as the pit, no shortcuts, just knowledge doing the heavy lifting. And that right there is bench knowledge my daddy handed me for free, the same way Grandpa handed him the pit. I wrote 101 of the pit ones down in the Texas BBQ Bible, plain as I just taught you this braid, so you never ruin another brisket long as you live. $17, down from $47, and one saved brisket buys it back with change. Whatever you smoke on, it'll meet you there. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time, there is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. So that's the mystery braid, start to finish. 2 cuts, 3 crossings, 1 pass through, and a debt at the bottom that pays itself. Tell me the first thing you'd make out of a good piece of leather. Put it in the comments below. I read every single one. Next time, we're back at the pit, and I'm going to show you exactly why every brisket in America stalls dead at around 165 degrees, and the plain butcher paper move the old market men used to power straight through it without losing an ounce of bark. Keep your fire low and your stitches tight, and I'll see y'all next time.